Hi, very good evening, all of you. So, today's live session, we have the following topics for discussion. So, we couldn't get back live this morning. I had some personal challenges, so I had to manage them. But as usual, we'll have our 11 a.m. breakfast sessions. But if at all there are any changes, I'll update you guys accordingly, at least before the session, right? So in today's live session, I'm glad we're having this live session at 9:30 p.m. Usually the night times we see more active participation because I'm quite confident and sure that almost all of you are night owls. So if I have a session, if 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time or early morning, I'm sure it turns out otherwise. So today's live session, what is that we're going to discuss? What not to do. So, what is this all about? We heard very recently, or the latest news is that the lockdown is going to extend. So, how to manage the rest of the time? How can we make maximum use of the available time? What strategies can we implement in order to improve or better our productivity? So, we'll discuss all these aspects in this live video for around 30 to 40 minutes. And then I'm going to do something at the end of the session, which I haven't done so far in any live. So let me keep that a secret. So before that, so how are you guys doing? I'm sure you guys are doing fine, at least physically, but emotionally, it's been a turmoil for the past several weeks. Lot many challenges, a lot of negativity, and I'm sure we're all physically fine. But what's at stake is our emotional health, mental health. Given the fact that we are almost exposed to more than 8 to 10 hours of screen time on an average, it's really challenging to beat the negativity. So, what can we do? What not to do? So, we'll start with that. And I have some plan of action detailed here, and then we'll proceed accordingly. So, first and foremost, yeah, I do understand losing control of mind, feeling crazy. Yes. So, what not to do? See, first and foremost, in any of our live sessions so far, I might have given you hundreds and hundreds of advices in the form of tips, tricks, or whatever. Do this, do that, lot many things. But today, in this live session, I want to highlight what not to do. Because what to do is important, but what not to do, in my opinion, is even more important. Because what not to do helps you minimize negativity, if not avoid the same, overcome that with positivity, improve your productivity, and most importantly, that's how you see progress. So, let me share three practical tips which I have personally been incorporating and experiencing for the past 3 to 4 weeks from the beginning of this lockdown phase. And I found them pretty very useful and relevant, especially during these challenging times. And I'm sure you're aware of these three tips, but only for sake of highlighting them. I'm going to repeat the same, and I'm very confident that all of you are very much familiar with them. So, first and foremost, which I wanted to highlight is do not check. So, what is that I'm asking you not to check? Smartphone notifications. I mentioned this n number of times previously. Deactivate all your smartphone notifications, any app notifications, even the Telegram app updates, group notifications, etc. Deactivate all notifications. I'll elaborate further. The second one, which I wanted to highlight, is do not follow any news 24 by 7. The problem is we have plenty of news in the form of electronic media, news in the form of a smartphone, social media apps. It can be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, etc. The problem with following news 24 by 7 is, let's suppose I'm going to present you some news. The strategy would be like to to in order to attain more views, what we do is either create clickbaits or tend to give you some spicy news, or use fear, anger, or negativity in order to fuel your emotions. That's what usually happens, because if someone says good things or if everything is going really fine, we would be least bothered, because it doesn't threaten our existence, it doesn't instigate our emotions. But if I use fear, negativity, etc., I can gain more attention. Let me give you one practical example. Have you ever seen newspapers? You might have seen newspapers. Have you ever seen the front page of newspapers? You will see big letters. In fact, my father was a journalist. He was a sub editor for around 25 to 30 years in Hindu and Indian Express. So I know how the things are. He used to tell me. And also, I'm sure you might have seen newspapers, right? In newspapers, in the front page, you see big letters, red color, especially black and red combination. You know why they keep all those things? And if you come across any electronic media, you see breaking news all the time. Previously, breaking news used to be only on fewer occasions, but now, in a particular day, you can see tens and tens of breaking news in tens and tens of news channels. So, what is the strategy that's being played here? To use negativity to gain our attention. So, do we deserve that? That is something which we should all think about. I'm talking about this in specific because the past several weeks we are at homes watching news in different formats possible, which is only fueling our negativity if you carefully observe. I hope you got my point. So please do not follow news 24 by 7. Then how do you come across? You might ask me this question like, how do you come across important information? Uh, don't we miss important information? Of course, you might miss. If that's the case, at least allot a few minutes of time to follow only official websites, either WHO or Government of India website or any official website of the local community or state government website. That's it. Only follow the news which you come across. And with social media apps, you have the power to control your timeline, your wall. So use these official channels to get acquainted or to know about the latest information. And we have our Arogya Setu app, which is available. It's by Government of India. So you can use certain apps, only specific apps for limited time. That's it. That would really help you to stay in touch with the latest information. At the same time, greatly helps you to avoid all the negativity. So do not follow any news 24 by 7. And finally, the third one which I wanted to highlight based on my observation in this quarantine phase is this is what usually happens to almost every one of us. No one is immune to this. No one is immune to this. Do not overthink. So this is the main culprit. So these are the triangular factors or triangular phenomena which I wanted to highlight. What about overthinking? When given a chance or when we are idle, instead of thinking positive, we always tend to think negative. We always tend to worry because we are under constant stress, knowingly or unknowingly. We are under the influence of so many factors, especially smartphones, especially peer pressure. So nowadays, even peer pressure is in the form of smartphones and social media. So, because of this continuous exposure to negative stimuli, we overthink in negative direction. Almost always happens in all our cases, even in my case. Even I'm not immune to this. But don't you think there is a solution to this? Of course, there is. Try following these two and do not overthink. I tend to overthink sometimes, but time and again, I tell myself, okay, let me not overthink. Let me just focus on the task at hand. So let me give you one practical example pertaining to this. For suppose we're having this live session. I was supposed to have at 11 a.m. I made sure I was not overthinking because I had some emergency work. All I did was just sat for a couple of minutes before 10:30 a.m. in the morning and just posted an update and did not even think about it. So before 30 minutes or 40 minutes before the session, after completion of our study club discussion, I spent some time going through the contents which I wanted to discuss. That's it. I didn't spend my entire day. I was not overthinking at all. And now, currently in this live session, I'm not thinking at all. I'm not overthinking at all. For that matter, I'm not even thinking at all. I'm just delivering this spontaneously. So the advantage with this is you live in the present moment. So right now, as I'm talking, I'm living in present because my focus is on reaching you guys. So that's the only focus. If I'm studying, if that's the only focus, then we never overthink. If I am preparing some literature, or if I am studying or practicing some multiple choice questions, or attending discussions, or going through assertion reason kind of questions, or assignments, etc., whatever it is, if you are immersed in some activity, if you allow yourself to immerse yourself in that particular activity, then you're leaving no scope to overthink. The problem with overthinking is most of the times we think negatively, as I mentioned prior, and with that overthinking comes a lot of stress, worry, which in turn halts your progress by making you unproductive. Take my word. You overthink, 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 and ultimately, you know what happens? The time just passes away, and we feel frustrated at the end, and we are even more worried than before. So my suggestion to all of you is do not overthink. So this applies to me, this applies for everyone. Rather than overthinking, the smart thing to do is to focus on the task at hand. If you're studying, just focus on the same. Making notes, focus on the same. Doing assignments, focus on the same. At you're watching TV, focus on the same. Eating, focus on the same. So this applies to everyone. And no one is immune. I'm not saying we can absolutely avoid certain things, but we can override them with positivity, which is very, very important, especially in challenging times such as this. So the triangular phenomena, which I wanted to highlight, is three factors. If you can manage them, you'll be avoiding a majority of your negativity. You'll be, more than 90% of your negativity, take my word, and you'll be, in fact, overriding with positivity. That itself will solve all the issues you're facing. Even though we are physically fine, most of us are physically fine, emotionally, there is a greater turmoil for the past several weeks. And as you know, the lockdown has been extended. So if we are aware of these things and if we consciously exert these on day-to-day basis, moment-to-moment basis, we can improvise, progress, and most importantly, never regret this time. So this is a phase which is an opportunity for each and every one of us to give our best. So after some time, we should never regret about the past experiences. Rather, we should feel proud of what we have done. No matter what the circumstances are, at least we should try our best. Isn't that the obvious response? So I hope you got my point. So I'll just pause for a few moments. We can have some interaction, and then I'll proceed with the rest of the discussion. That is the plan of action. And I'm going to share some interesting news and some interesting activities which we are planning from now, not from tomorrow, or at least from now, I can say. So hope you guys are able to follow. Okay, I see we all have problems. Definitely, I'll address all of them because once we go through the rest of the section, I'm sure most of your problems will be addressed. But anyways, I'll go through all of your comments at the end of the video. Is it fine? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the next aspect which I wanted to highlight is Schedule Plus. So what is this all about? You know about Vicryl Plus. So what's the difference between Vicryl and Vicryl Plus suture material? So can anyone say? Vicryl, as you know, is a suture material. Vicryl Plus, it has some additional properties like antibacterial, as you rightly mentioned, triclosan, which we discussed previously as well. So, what is this Schedule Plus? I felt like we should be able to do what we're doing on a regular basis without any distractions. But most importantly, under these circumstances, it is essential that we do it with more positivity and more enthusiasm. Because when you're getting bashed by a lot of negativity, when you're having so much of exposure to negativity, then in order to balance the scales, we need to work from the other side of the coin as well. So the schedule plus concept is we'll be having our regular schedule as usual without any interactions or interruptions. And most importantly, we are going to do this with more enthusiasm and positivity. So, one such example which I can give you is Lion King. The other example, rap songs. The other being Anku and Tenku's interactions. We'll try different innovative means in order to do things even more effectively with more enthusiasm and positivity. Because as I said, we're getting bashed by a lot of negativity. So we need to tip the scales by promoting the other side of the coin, which is positivity. So all I want you to do is just stay in touch and try to be active in all the discussions, no matter what they are. Live sessions, study club, assignments, e-classes, test series, giving tests time to time. All I want you to do is just stay active in all the things which you are doing currently. And we'll see to that we're trying our level best to promote positivity and enthusiasm through different means possible. We'll try to increase the frequency and see to that it's being done even more effectively. At least that I can promise from my side. And the second thing which I wanted to highlight is breakfast sessions. I actually wanted to conclude breakfast sessions by April 30 or May 1st, assuming that the lockdown would be over. But since the lockdown has extended, we'll definitely continue our breakfast sessions at 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time as usual. If at all, if time doesn't permit because of my personal challenges, I'll definitely update you guys at least a few hours before the session, or I'll just leave an update. All you need to do is just check out the updates group at 10:30 or after 10:30. You'll get relevant update with all the timings. Okay, if at all there are any changes. So breakfast sessions we're planning to continue till the lockdown ends. And the next thing which I wanted to highlight is, if you remember, last weekend I mentioned about sharing your work in the form of a video. So what I've decided to do is, since we're having even additional time, so whatever things you have done differently in this lockdown, it can be painting, drawing, cooking, singing, whatever it is. We're going to share it on day-to-day basis in our updates group, YouTube channel, etc. Right? So this is to make sure that you guys are having a positive distraction. Distractions are good. Positive distractions are even more good. So if you love cooking, do cook, send your pictures. If you love writing poems or anything based on your interest, you're more than welcome to mail the same. If you love singing, you can do the same and then send us the same. So in fact, so far we have received some couple of such special activities, including painting, drawing, artwork, flip books, etc. So we're going to share them systematically on day-to-day basis, so that, as I said, we need to tip the scales and we need to promote positivity. So involve yourself in positive distractions which give you pleasure at the same time. They take your mind off negativity. Anything of that sort, you're more than welcome to share through mail. We'll see to that it's being published in our updates group at Telegram, as well as in our YouTube channel and Google group. Okay, so that's another thing which I wanted to highlight. So we'll start this from tomorrow itself. Okay, and the final thing is, mail support as usual, whether you're registered or unregistered, we provide mail support as usual. But this time I want to specifically highlight this. No matter what your situation or what your challenges are, you are more than welcome to mail, irrespective of your registration status. Whether you're registered at PDB Academy or not, doesn't matter. If you have any problem, you want to share any concern of yours, you are more than welcome to get back through mail 24 by 7. And I have a sincere request for all of you. Because of increased workload, I've been receiving literally hundreds of mails on day-to-day basis for the past 4 weeks. It's a tremendous amount of work, but I don't wish to complain. I hate complaining. So what we have decided is to strictly implement our standard reply policy. Usually, previously, before lockdown, we used to reply as soon as possible or at least within hours. But nowadays, we are replying in 24 to 48 hours as per our standard reply policy. So if any one of you is sending us any mail, please give us some time to address the same with a lot of enthusiasm and energy, because I'm not going to reply just like that or for sake of replying mails. When I do something, I do it with a lot of positivity and excitement and enthusiasm. Or else, what's the point in just sending a text message sans all these feelings? Of course, you can have feelings in text messages as well. So, mail support will be provided to everyone, and I wanted to highlight this because these are the times where we're having more and more negativity. So, you have any issue whatsoever, I will never mind listening to your concerns, and I'll do my best in order to provide support from my side. And all I'm asking you is just give me 24 to 48 hours. We will get back to you no matter what the query or concern is, right? So these are the things which I wanted to highlight. And let me go through your queries. And then I said, I'll have a surprise. So this is a surprise I'm talking about. I'll let you know what that is about at the end of the session. Okay. In fact, I've asked you guys to get back to this session, or before the start of this live session, I asked you guys in study club to have your dinner and come. The reason is this: soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. So this is my favorite song. As you know, Sheldon has popularized it in Big Bang Theory. So sing a song in order to lighten your mood and most importantly to brighten your mood. Take my word. Even if you're not, see, I'm a worst singer possible, but even I'm sure all of us sing in our washrooms, but it's time to sing outside as well. So sing a song, sing your favorite song, but see to that you're enjoying that. Because once you start singing, once you start enjoying it, it's definitely going to lighten your mood, most importantly, brighten your mood. And you know, Sheldon usually wants this song to be played or usually asks others to sing this song before he sleeps. So I'm sure you're all sleepy now because it's almost 10 p.m. So that's the reason why I said I wanted to do this. So if you have your dinner and get back to live session, I'm sure most of us sleep in classrooms. So singing will definitely help you sleep much better, right? So sing a song, lighten your mood, and most importantly, brighten your mood. Okay? So that's a surprise because I never sang any song live. So this is the first time I've done it. And it's okay even if you mind me singing because I know I'm not a specialist in this. Okay? Right. Yeah, if you want, you guys can sing with me. In study club, let's do it. Let's try to have our voice clips all played. But now, live session, since I can't hear you, I want you guys to sing with me. Do you want to sing with me? On count of three, shall we? Okay, on count of three. You can sing, and I'm sure you're going to sing it. One, two, three, go. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Oh, Lion King slept. So let's allow him to sleep. I'm sure you guys sung the song. Okay, so I've seen some of you posting your concerns. Let me see if I can help you out. Yeah. So to all those who are asking how am I? I'm absolutely fine. I'm having good sleep, good food. I'm absolutely fine. These are essential to make sure that our physiological systems are going very smooth. So eat, sleep on time, so everything will be fine. Athena says, instead of breakfast sessions, you should go for dinner sessions. I would love to, Athena, but the reason why I wanted to specifically have breakfast sessions is to see to that our day is going extremely well with, enthusiasm and positivity. Dinner sessions will be fine. In fact, if I do dinner sessions, more students or more of you will be attending the same. But I wanted to have only breakfast sessions because I think they are the best starting points for any particular day. I mean, I use that as a source of my positivity and enthusiasm. I'm sure it does the same for you as well. So we'll have breakfast sessions over dinner sessions. Okay. So there is a reason for the same. Sriparna says, now I want to run away from home too bored. Yes, Sriparna, I want you to run. I want you to run not away from the home, but at least in the home. So do it so that it helps you maintain a very good physical health. So running in home is also good. So try running in home rather than try running out of home. So after lockdown is over, you can sure run anywhere you want. Procrastination. Yes, Mano, that's one challenge which we all face. But that's the advantage we have with schedule. See, it's like a double-edged sword, and it's like having two sides of a coin. On one side, the schedule is going to help you to run things very smoothly on consistent basis. At the same time, a schedule can also cause stress, and it might lead to a lot of worry. For suppose if you're not doing a particular task in a particular time duration, you might feel worried. So there are definitely two sides to any issue, right? So it depends on how you use it. So in this case, when you feel like you're postponing things, you're neglecting or ignoring things or taking things for granted, use a schedule to motivate yourself. See to that you're doing certain things on consistent basis. For suppose daily tests on consistent basis, attending discussions on consistent basis, giving assignments on consistent basis. You need not worry about all these aspects at once. All you need to do is just have this one aspect in mind, that is follow the schedule, blindly follow the schedule. But now and then, whenever you feel like it's adding up stress, it's okay to go off the track. It's okay to take a break. That's absolutely fine. But in general, if you want to get things done, if you want to get things done on consistent basis, a schedule is something which helps each and every one of us tremendously. Take, for example, our timetable or schedule during our schooling. Take, for example, a timetable or schedule during our college, undergraduation, or post graduation. Or take, for example, the schedule we have or the timetable we have. These are the things which keep us moving forward. But at the same time, if you have any kind of stress or negativity, it's okay to take break. You're going to lose nothing. So use schedule to overcome and manage the issue which you think you are facing. Stuti Shah says having bad anxiety issues. See, the reason why we had all of this discussion is you can overcome all these anxiety issues. First of all, in order to know or implement a solution, we should know what the problem is. That's what diagnosis is all about. So, Stuti Shah, what's the problem you're facing? Why do you think you're facing anxiety issues or negativity? So, ask yourself this question. Once you have these questions in mind, you can work on solutions. If this lockdown is creating negativity, remember, there is nothing to worry about. Everything will be fine because ultimately we are doing all of this for our benefit, for our safety, isn't it? So everything happens for a reason, everything happens for good. So, moreover, I've seen some of you getting back to mail and telling me that you actually want this lockdown to be extended. I was surprised, but then I realized that it's all about positivity. Because once a lockdown was introduced initially, there was a lot of fuss and negativity. But now I see some of you saying, sir, we want lockdown to be extended so that we can spend more time on preparation, so that we can spend more time with our family. So that's what positivity is all about. That's what giving our best is all about. So work out on your anxiety issues by knowing what the problem is. Ask yourself the questions, the hard questions, the tough questions. I'm sure there will be solution for each and every question or problem. Take my word. Aparna says, can you make timetable for NEET MDS exam preparation? Aparna, we have several timetables and schedules for free to everyone in our general section of e-classes. You can access the same via guest login. You can get back through mail for any further assistance. Ritika says, when I try to focus with my mind, within minutes, my mind wanders off. This is a problem which we all face. That's quite common. But at the same time, why do you think his mind is wandering off? Is it because of any of these distractions which we discussed previously? Is it because of the availability of smartphone or proximity of smartphone, or is it because of too much of thinking, or is it because of too much of negativity which you're coming across through these means? So try addressing them. I'm sure you can manage. And when you know the importance of what you're doing, let's suppose let's suppose you're attending this session, Ritika. So is your mind wandering off, or is your focus on listening to what I'm saying? Answer this question, you'll have answer to your challenge as well. Amulya says, sir, nowadays I'm not interested to study any tips. Amulya, it's absolutely fine not to have any interest, because as humans we do have feelings and there will be ups and downs. Sometimes we feel like giving our best, sometimes we feel frustrated with bouts and bouts of negativity. So if you feel like you're not interested, take my word, do not study anything for at least 1 to 2 days. Leave out everything and then revisit your thinking. So, do you still feel like you're not interested, or do you feel like, yes, let me try? And what's the reason for your lack of interest? Or what do you think is your interest? All of these questions can be answered when you ask yourself this question: what is that I'm going to do in this lockdown period? How is that I'm going to make maximum use of it? Because what is that I want to see in myself after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, or after 5 years? Ask yourself these questions. I know these are uncomfortable questions, but we cannot avoid the same, because ultimately we have to take care of ourselves. Others are not going to save us. Parents to some extent, loved ones to some extent, but ultimately we are responsible for our own lives, our own fate for that matter. Right? I hope you got my point. Ram, sir, have you heard my poem? I'm sorry, Ram. I've checked your mail, but I don't actually understand Hindi much, so I haven't heard. I mean, if possible, get back to text message. I'll take the help of my team in order to get the meaning. Unnati says, what can we do when we are stuck at home with very few study materials with us at present? Unnati, it's okay. Whatever materials you're stuck with, don't you think you can make maximum use of the same? Let me give you, for instance, e-classes, test series, study club discussions, and assignments. Can't you use this opportunity to complete 100% of everything that's being provided? Of course, even more content will be provided to you as the time progresses, but with the available time and existing materials, don't you think you can master the same? See, we always have this tendency, whenever we don't have something, we crave for it. That's quite natural. Maybe one of the human tendencies. But it's okay, even if you don't have everything with you. Can't you make maximum use of the available resources? Don't you think that would be smart? So try reconsidering that challenge once again. And if you need any assistance, you can get back through mail. Okay. Unnati, the reason why I've mentioned this is about the human tendency. I'll tell you one example. You know vermicelli, bambino vermicelli. In fact, in my house, vermicelli was over a few weeks ago. When it was over, I had this strong urge to have it. I should have vermicelli in different forms, sweet form, hot form, etc. I used to literally have strong urge. So I went outside within the permitted time, brought some goods, bought some goods, including vermicelli, some 2 kgs or 1 kg or some couple of packets, and till date, I haven't opened them. Till date, I haven't asked any of my family members to cook something based on vermicelli. So the point is, you might have experienced the same in your own way. When you have something, you'll not appreciate it. When you don't have something, you feel the craving towards it. So it's okay, it's absolutely natural. But as I said, you can overcome that by changing your perception towards the same. It's okay if you don't have now, you might have it tomorrow or a couple of days later. It's never too late, but at least use the available resources at hand and then try giving your best. Convinced? Is it convincing? Athena says, I have problem in concentration. Athena, I'll share my experience. Even I had problem in reading a book. In fact, when I used to open a book, maybe during my BDS days, I couldn't even study for more than 30 to 40 minutes at a stretch. It used to be a horrible experience. I used to hate studying. I used to hate going through a book, not more than 1 hour. Damn sure, not more than 1 hour. But my father has gifted me a novel, a book, Sydney Sheldon, and he asked me just, why don't you give it a try? Then I started reading that book, and I didn't sleep till I completed the book. And in fact, the very next book which I bought was Revolution 2020 by Chetan Bhagat, where I went, the book was released yesterday. I went today and I bought the book in the evening time, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I don't exactly remember. I didn't sleep that night. I was awake till 7 a.m. in the morning. That was the first night stay for me, or the first time where I hadn't slept all through the night, nightcap, and I completed the book. So, do you think something magical happened to me? No, I was the same. But only thing is that I started loving what I was doing, in fact. So I loved the book which my father gave me that drove me towards having more and more interest towards reading. I still remember the story of Sidney Sheldon. I don't exactly remember the book name. I think it's Tomorrow Never Dies or something. But it was lovely, exciting, and I just enjoyed reading it. And the next book, Revolution 2020, I more than loved it. So, what happened to my concentration? So it's all about your priorities. If you think you're enjoying what you're doing, if you think whatever you're doing is significant in your own life, if you think that's going to help you progress, and at the end of the day, it's all about enjoying the process, no matter what other objectives you have in your mind. If you're enjoying what you're doing, you'll automatically have all the concentration you can towards that particular task. Sujay, I'm not a techie, but you can stop notifications by going into the settings of your phone and then stop notifications option, something like that. Sriparna says after 12 p.m. you feel lazy and can't concentrate, have a power nap, or if you're having lunch, try to minimize the amount of food you're taking. Uh, that will definitely help you to stay active. Too much of food, as you know, the physiology, the blood circulation will be diverted from brain towards the GIT. We feel drowsy and lazy. It's okay. Have a power nap and then get back to your routine. Sunny says, sir, so much to do and so less time. You're right, but it's not easy to get distracted with it. Of course, who said it's easy, Sunny? If it were easy, then we wouldn't be having all these discussions. Of course, it is challenging. And let me tell you, let that remain challenging. Because if it were easy, then what's the fun in doing it? Let it remain challenging. Let's overcome those challenges by giving our best. And that's where you have that sense of satisfaction. If it were very easy, then you think you'll be satisfied. No chance. It has to be tough, it has to be challenging, and you should be able to give your best. And once you overcome that particular challenge in any form whatsoever, that's when you'll have that sense of satisfaction and that feeling of success. Take me word. Srishti, what about random thoughts coming during study hours, how to deal with them, and more important, how to think about left out syllabus? I mean, that leads to jumping from one topic to another. That I would say overthinking. I mean, we all tend to do overthinking, but even this is one of the examples of overthinking. I mean, thinking of left out syllabus is not going to help you in any way. As you said, it's only going to add more and more amount of stress, and it's going to affect the current topic which you are studying. And also, you say random thoughts. Yes, Sisti, we do all have random thoughts. But as I said just now, when you know the value of what you're doing, don't you think I'll have random thoughts now? As I said, I'm not even thinking now because I know the importance of what I'm doing. This communication is very important to me because this is where my passion lies, to reach to each and every one of you. So it's all about prioritizing works. If you know that what you're doing is very important, you'll obviously try to minimize the rest of the things. But having said that, as humans, yes, we are susceptible to so many fallacies, including random thoughts. So In order to overcome the same, try dividing your study sessions into smaller segments like 20-minute duration or 30-minute duration. Take a quick 5-minute or 10-minute break and then try to refocus again. So, this 20 or 30-minute intervals of study period will help you enhance your output overall. Initially, you might feel like you're wasting your time. No, but with 20 minutes or 30 minutes, where your concentration ability will be at peak, at a stretch, as per many studies, even I practice the same. Try studying for 40 minutes or 1 hour. By the end of the class or by end of the session, you feel tired. 20 or 30 minutes, or customize it as per your needs. So this way, try to minimize random thoughts, and it's okay even if you have random thoughts, but see to that they're not affecting your present moment, because mindfulness is very important. If you can't focus on what you're studying now, and if you think about left out syllabus, what about the present topic? So that's what schedule is all meant for. If you're attending a study club discussion, 100% focus, notes preparation. If you're giving a test, 100% attention. Focus on the task at hand. That's what I would suggest you to do. Right? I hope you got my points, Risti. Aparna, let me tell you out of experience, overthinking is positive if applied in studies. I don't really agree with that, but yeah, of course, each one of you can have your own opinion. Overthinking, either negative or positive, is very bad in my opinion, because overthinking towards positivity will also lead to stress, because human brain is tuned to such a way that if you overthink, you eventually end up with negativity in most of the cases, or at least in my case, in almost all my experiences, that's what I've encountered. Even if it's a good news, if we overthink, we tend to land in negativity. So in my opinion, overthinking is bad, but maybe experience might teach me different things, so I'm open to that. Simran says, I can't able to concentrate on focus study at home. So, Simran, I can give you one practical tip. Change your study places. Let's suppose you're studying, sitting here and studying. After morning session, spend your time here. Afternoon session, change your place. Evening session, change your place. So use different places, study places in your home. Use terrace, balcony, or parking area, or whatever that's available. Shift your physical space around you. That will, to a greater extent, help you to keep the momentum going. I'm telling you out of experience. As I mentioned prior several times, I used to keep shifting places that really literally used to keep me going. So it never felt monotonous. That's the reason why even I tend to shift the live locations as well, because shifting your physical place will have a tremendous influence on your thinking, and it really helps you to keep going. Sanku and Tenku is good. So your feedback is very much essential. So we'll keep working and improvising their relation, and let's see what maximum we can make use of those interactions. Safiullah says, Sir, I got locked down at wrong place. Family members are forcing me to get married at very young age and not leaving me to focus on studies. I'm really sorry to hear that, Safiullah. I'm sure uh, by interacting with your parents, I'm sure they love you. They want you to get married, maybe for your own good, in their opinion. But please don't hesitate to tell your opinion. Talk to them, not in a high pitched tone. Talk to them, tell them what your challenge is, and tell them what you exactly want. I'm sure, as a lovable parent, anyone with a sense and understanding would definitely listen to what their offspring say, and will definitely do their best in order to give their offsprings their best. So tell your parents what is best for you. I'm really confident that they will understand and comply with your requests accordingly. I really understand your concern. Uh, don't worry. Everything that happens is for your own good. Have that perspective in mind. But most importantly, tell your parents what your priorities are. Tell your parents what best you want right now. Right? Renuka says, Anko and Tenko, fun can easily recollect concepts. Good, Renuka. Meghana says, sir, I'm not able to complete my day target. Meghana, since you raised this topic, I actually wanted to discuss about minimum criteria principle, which I mentioned to few of you in mails. It's okay even if you don't complete your daily target or weekly target, but analyze your compliance report and see why you think you're not able to complete. So based on your complaints report, or if you get back through mail, I can help you out. But this minimum criteria principle, which I'm talking about, even if you think you're not able to complete your daily target, by the end of the day or by the end of the week, try accomplishing certain aspects like completing daily targets or daily tests or assignments or point and shoot tests. So try accomplishing a set of minimum criteria which you can establish for yourself in your preparation. And by fulfilling those minimum criteria, you can at least have that sense of satisfaction that you have done something in order to actually complete relevant preparation pertaining to that day or week. I hope you got my point, right? But you want any further assistance, use your complaints report, get back through mail, I'll guide you further. Sriparna says, don't worry, we're all bathroom singers. That's what I'm worried about, Sriparna. Bathroom singers are usually very bad singers. That's why they are bathroom singers, myself included. Okay, I think we have a few more questions. Yes, Renuka, The Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. Yeah, I'd gone through the same. Okay, guys, I think the charging is getting over, so I'll not be able to really continue this session with this same pitch. So let's conclude this session. And I really appreciate all your love and affection. And you have any questions whatsoever, I want you to get back through mail. We'll have one-to-one interaction. Okay. And before I conclude, so let's sing the song once again on count of three. I hope you guys are ready. So here we go. One, two, three. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Good night. Good night, Lion King. Good night. Okay, guys. So I'll update you tomorrow's schedule and timing in updates group very soon. Just keep a tab on the same. There is nothing to worry about. All you need to do is just focus on the task at hand, enjoy what you're doing, give your best, keep the following things in mind, and for any further assistance or guidance, we are just a mail away. So wish you all the best. Love you all. Good night.